Hey, my village, it's your Coach Mo back with another topic. Today's topic is going to be microaggression. Some of you guys know or familiar with the term of microaggression. It's not a new term, but you do start to hear it a little more now. But microaggression is, let me see, I'm going to give you guys a definition of what it is. It's a statement or a phrase, whether intentional or unintentional, that communicates hostile, derogatory or negative prejudice, slights, and insults towards any group or culture. So I'm going to give you some examples of what that look like, but it can cause increased rates of depression, prolonged stress or trauma, headaches, high blood pressure, and difficulty sleeping. This is something that a lot of people deal with on a daily basis, especially in the workplace, whether they know it or not. But it's basically insensitive statements, questions, and assumptions. Me being an African-American woman, I've been in leadership for a couple of years, but working in a workplace, being in the medical field, things like that, a lot of times I was the only Black girl, the only person that looked like me in my leadership role or my department or just on the floor. Or you can count like probably a handful of people that look like you at that place, where it's like 95% other race and culture. Especially in corporate America. This is something I experience a lot in corporate America. But when you run into encounters like that, they want you to be the representative for your whole culture. They ask you questions like, let me give you an example. Oh, you don't sound like you're from Compton. I get that all the time. Like, what is a girl from Compton supposed to sound like? I sound like I paid a lot for my education. I am on a PhD level. Like, I don't understand. Like, I've been labeled as like the Oreo most of my life. You sound like you're from the Valley, a Valley girl. No, that's just because my parents are educated and I am too. It was important for us to speak proper English. Just because I grew up in the hood don't mean I am a product of my environment. So a lot of people, I've heard that a lot. That's something that used to trigger me, but now it don't bother me anymore. Or how did you get that position? Stuff like that, like I earned it. I don't have to know nobody just to get in certain positions or levels in a company. Or don't be so sensitive. That's microaggression because they feel like we're angry Black women. Do you have a wife or a husband? When I was pregnant with my son at 22, I used to get those, oh, where's the dad? Where's the husband? Type of stuff because they frowned upon me being a single mom or coming to the doctor by myself. They didn't know he was deployed. But I'm sorry. They assume that you're a baby mama or a baby daddy. Or they say you're being aggressive. I've heard that quite a few times. I get that you're being aggressive when you speak up. You're so articulate. I get that too. Like, I'm just speaking English. What you mean? I know how to express myself. I know how to explain things. That don't mean I'm articulate. It's not a compliment. Sometimes it's a microaggression. This one is the big one because I'm a natural hair girl. I'm sorry, I was kind of choking. But I like to wear my hair down in curly fro. And people always say, can I touch your hair? Oh, I hate that. One thing about a natural girly is they don't want you touching their hair. I am not a doll. This is not a hair show. No, don't touch my hair. Or the number one thing in corporate America and call centers, you people. That's a trigger for me. What do you mean by you people? I did a video about that before, that term, like you people. We're not gonna do that. Or do you know your father? They do that. Assume that we don't have our dads in our life. My dad's been in my life my whole life. Like, he always lived like 4 blocks away from me growing up. I seen him whenever I want. And on the weekends, I was with him. So I hate when they do that. Do you know your dad? Or another one that's a trigger for a lot of people, or smile more. Like, Why you not smiling? Smile more. Like, I could just be in my head thinking, and you're assuming I'm mad or something's wrong because I'm not walking around smiling all the time. But we can improve microaggression. But microaggressions can also negatively impact your career. It can increase burnout and less job satisfaction because you're not comfortable in your workplace. It signals disrespect and reflects inequality. We can improve this by unconscious bias and microaggression training from for diversity, inclusion, equality in the workplace. There's 3 different types of microaggressions. So there's micro insult, micro assault, and micro invalidation. But they all do the same thing, have the same effects. I hope this educated some of you about that topic more and would trigger a light. Like, am I one of those people that ask certain cultures or groups those type of questions? Because it's not a compliment. It's offensive. So just be careful with your words and what you do in the workplace or how you address certain people just based on how they look or whatever, how they talk, where they grew up, where they're from. That's why a lot of people don't like to open up to people in the workplace because it's used as a weapon against them. But just think about that. Think of what could you do instead. Don't assume. I hope you enjoyed this topic. We got one more topic coming. And until next time, Coach Mo out.